From the second she picked him up, he climbed, not onto her lap, not onto her arm, straight to her shoulder, and he didn't move. Not when she walked across the room, not when she sat back down at her desk, not when she tried gently to set him on the floor. He dug those small gray paws in, pressed his chin against her neck, closed his enormous round eyes, and stayed. She laughed the first time. She laughed the second time too. By the third day, she wasn't laughing anymore. By the end of the first week, she was asking a question she couldn't shake. Why? But to understand why a stray cat with the biggest eyes she had ever seen refused to leave a stranger's shoulder, we have to go back to the morning she almost kept walking, because what happened over the next 8 weeks would change everything she thought she understood about trust, about animals, and about the quiet way some creatures say the one thing they mean most. It was a Tuesday in early April. Maya was taking the long route to work, cutting through the narrow alley behind her apartment building, coffee still warm in her hand. She almost didn't hear it. A small sound, barely there, not quite a meow, more like a question with no voice behind it. She stopped. She set her coffee down on the edge of a bin without thinking. He was crouched between 2 trash bins, pressed low against the dirty concrete wall. Gray, small, impossibly still. He hadn't made a sound when she approached. His eyes were the first thing she noticed. Enormous, wide, clear, pale green gold, with pupils wide and dark in the dim morning light, locked directly onto her face, like he had been waiting specifically for her to walk down that alley. She crouched down slowly. He didn't run. Most strays bolt at the first sudden movement. He just watched her, blinking once, deliberately, like he was making a decision she wasn't part of. She reached out one hand. He sniffed it. Then, without hesitation, he stepped forward, placed both front paws on her knee, and looked up at her with those impossible eyes. She didn't say anything for a long moment. "Okay," she finally whispered. She had no carrier, no plan, no real idea what she was agreeing to. She tucked him inside her jacket, held him against her chest, and turned around. Work could wait. She named him Ash on the walk home, for the soft silver gray of his coat, and because something about him felt like something that had survived something and was still standing on the other side of it. At the vet that afternoon, she learned he was roughly a year old, underweight, no chip, no record, no owner looking for him. He had simply been out there, in that alley, waiting. But what happened next would change everything. Back at home, Maya set him gently down on the floor. He looked at the floor, he looked at her, then he climbed, straight up her leg, across her stomach, over her collarbone, and directly onto her left shoulder, and stayed. She stood completely still, unsure what to do. Ash tucked his chin into the curve of her neck, let out a long, slow breath, and closed his eyes like he had just arrived somewhere he'd been trying to find for a very long time. Over the days that followed, he made his position permanent. Morning coffee, shoulder. He'd be there before the kettle had finished boiling. Work calls from her home office, shoulder. He attended every single one without complaint. Walking to the kitchen for water, shoulder. He even stayed on when she leaned down to pick something off the floor. She bought him a soft fleece bed. He sniffed it, gave it one long, unimpressed look, and climbed back up. She tried placing him on the couch beside her. He sat there for approximately 5 seconds before returning to his spot, like a tiny gray employee who had clocked back in. Friends found it hilarious when she sent videos. Her coworkers on Zoom started greeting him by name. One neighbor, watering plants on her balcony, called down and said she had never seen a cat do that before. But Maya had stopped laughing. There was something in the way Ash held on that felt different from a quirk, something she couldn't name but couldn't dismiss either. It felt less behavior. It felt like a message. Little did she know, this was only the beginning. I see you're still here and you haven't subscribed yet. Honestly, that stings a little. Hit that button right now. You're gonna want to be here for what Ash does next, because what came next, nobody saw coming. It was the third week when Maya finally started looking for answers. Late one night, sitting at her desk with Ash sleeping on her shoulder, his weight warm and familiar, she found herself deep in a forum thread about feline attachment behavior. A veterinary behaviorist had written something she read 3 times. Some kittens, separated too early from their mothers, redirect their bonding instinct, not toward just any person, toward one specific person. The climbing, the pressing, the refusal to be anywhere other than physically on top of you. It wasn't random. It wasn't a quirk. It was attachment. It was the cat's version of "I have chosen you. You are where I belong." She put down her phone. She looked at Ash. He was watching her. Those enormous, calm eyes, absolutely steady, chin resting on her collarbone like he had always been there, like he had never been anywhere else. And then, at exactly 11:47 p.m., sitting alone in her quiet apartment with a small gray cat on her shoulder, something inside her clicked. She thought about the alley, the way he hadn't run, the way he had placed his paws on her knee and looked up at her like he already knew something she was still catching up to. She thought about every single climb after that, not to the floor, not to the couch, to her. Always to her. He hadn't been doing it because he was strange or anxious or broken. He had been doing it because he had already decided, from the moment in that alley, from the second she held out her hand, he had chosen her. And every time he climbed to her shoulder, he was just keeping his promise. What she felt in that moment would stay with her for the rest of her life. From that night on, everything between them settled into something different, something certain. Ash is still there. Every single morning, without exception, he waits at the edge of the bed. The second she sits up, he climbs. Every time. She stopped trying to explain it to people who haven't seen it. There are no words that fully do it justice, but she knows now what he was saying all along. Not "I need you," not "I am hungry" or afraid or lonely, just "I chose you." Long before she ever did anything to earn it, in a dirty alley on an ordinary Tuesday morning, he had already made his decision. That's what rescue really is sometimes. Not the human saving the animal finding the one human in the whole world it was willing to trust, willing to climb toward, willing to stay on. Not every cat comes ready to be loved. Some arrive still carrying everything they've been through, but the ones who choose you quickly, they chose you for a reason. If you're thinking about adopting, remember this. Some of them won't make you earn it slowly. Some of them already know. They knew the moment they saw you. The question is only whether you were paying enough attention to notice. Some stories are too important to keep to yourself. Share this one with someone who needs to hear it today, because some animals don't wait to be chosen. They do the choosing first, long before we ever understand it. Do you believe cats truly pick their person on purpose, or is that just something we want to call love? Tell me in the comments.